Hello. How y'all doing? Y'all, I'll probably start talking about my thumbnail in like probably 4 minutes. Yesterday, I think I did a live yesterday and talking about like this this site I have to go to, and I fill it. You know I process taxes for people, and it's for free. Um, there's a beta program. Um, I think majority of everywhere in the United States. I think they have them in Puerto Rico. They have them, um, and if you're military, they have them available for militaries as well. That's crazy, right? Yeah, and people um, get their taxes done on for free. That service can be typically like a 500, sometimes even more. And if you're like under a pay grade, you're under a certain pay grade, you are able to get it for free. I'm not sure about the military. I don't know if they can get it for free with a max, or I don't know. But I do know civilians, and or if you have some type of disability, you can get it for free. Like, and I'm like not putting a lot of people's details out there, but I'm just thinking about like all the stuff that people will put in their packet. And I'm like, did you freaking rate it, yo? Did you freaking rate it? You just putting stuff in here now. And it was a refreshment because the first time I did it, last Tuesday, when I did it, it was like everybody was quiet, everybody didn't talk. And then now I got a little group of, you know, I got a group of people that they can talk, and you would be surprised, just like sitting around having a conversation with people. People don't know a lot of stuff. Shocking. Like you get what I'm you get what I'm saying? So the lady was talking about this baby crying, like I think they said 4 hours straight during the plane ride. The baby was crying. And I was like, I would have been crazy after 2 hours, right? And I was like, well, didn't anybody seem to check his ears, because I'm assuming that altitude is pretty high. And everyone was like, huh? Like that. Like, I didn't think of that. When I was a kid, my mom used to give us gum. We used to go to Chesapeake, cross cross the bay. Okay, y'all understand. I'll probably bring back certain words, terminology. And we used to go across the bay, and it was a tunnel, and my mom always gave us gum. I never understood that. Here, chew this. And I think I was like young, like probably about 5. Of course, I'm gonna enjoy the gum, but I remember her giving us gum, and your ears gonna pop. And I'm so used to that. I'm not. I was. My kids probably like, oh, what's that? What's that? But me growing up, I had to travel over there to, go visit my Uncle Lester. So that was more exciting than anything. So trust me. And if anybody crossed the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, you know, you know that that is a bridge underground, underwater. Okay. And I never understood the fear of it until I got older. And when I mean older, I mean I was about 7, I'll say 16. And I never understood that bridge. Like, okay, we're going under the bridge. And then one day we was driving. I was like, where's the bridge at? Y'all, no lie. My mom was like, Where's the bridge at? It's underwater. Huh? I had like a mental, even though I've been driving under this bridge probably from the time of, let's say, 3, and one day I just like, where's the bridge at? Like, and that kind of petrified me for a very long time. And I think I did a video that I drove across the Chesapeake Bay Bridge by myself. And when I tell you, that was the most petrifying experience I ever had in my life. And I don't like it. I don't like it. Now I will swerve through 5 o'clock traffic, 9 o'clock traffic. I will go to traffic jams and get out within 10 minutes. But I tell you, it took me about 30 minutes to get off that bridge. It was, I didn't want to speed, I didn't want to do nothing. And that water, I didn't realize, because I'm always on the passenger side. My mom always drove across the bridge. And but last year was my first year driving across that bridge. And I don't think I like it. I'm gonna say I don't like it. I said it. Um, and of course, I traveled um, in Virginia in the dark, so it wasn't like sweet smelling. Like, see, of course, you know, I had to, but drive the speed limit, but because I can speed all day long. But I didn't realize I am a maniac behind the wheels. And yeah, and I'm not just being like, I'm a maniac. Like when I'm telling you, it's like every morning we'll meet up with, because everybody has probably the same life. All right. They go to work, they come home, they get off, they run late just like anybody else. But I tell you, I feel like you're not going to be the line leader today. And I be feeling that way. Like people really want to be the line leader when they drive. And I'll be like, not today, you. No. Be a line leader for that person behind me, but don't be a line leader behind. So when people, I feel like they want to control because there's people that drive, they want to control the traffic flow. That's their goal. That's their whole agenda early in the morning is to control the traffic flow. So when somebody is out of their lane, right, they will speed to get to the next person so they can block off everybody else's flow. And I'm like, dude, you must be a miserable turd that needs to be flushed down the toilet because there ain't no way you got time for this early in the morning. So I think my road rage is probably typically that people want to be a line leader. People want to control the flow of traffic, and just idiots, just being idiots for no odd reason. And somebody probably could say I'm an idiot driver too, but not as worse as some of these people here in the state of North Carolina. Okay, everybody can't drive. They can't drive. Everybody can't drive. But I think I can drive. And when I say I think I can drive, I foresee about 3 cars ahead of me. And that's a good driver. Mentally, when you can foresee 3 cars ahead of you, not tailgating or nothing like that, and you're doing a nice, healthy flow of traffic, that's a good driver. But when you are a driver that have to hit on brakes because you don't foresee like 5 or 6 cars ahead of you, that you should well, at least 3 cars ahead of you, not 5. But when you see about 3 cars ahead of you and how they're flowing, you're a decent driver. That's just me. But y'all, let's get into this thumbnail. I've been watching the Fritz family, okay? And the Fritz family, he basically came out and said, hey, Jazz is his wife. They did videos together. She's no longer interested in doing YouTube. Right? That's cool. And I kind of figured that, you know. Um, I didn't know Jazz was when I started watching her about just say I started watching her and the family when they had Don Don. They had Don Don. Don Don is the light skin one. Okay, so when they had Don Don, he I think she was like 28, maybe. And her husband is about my age. So I'm assuming he's about 37, about 36, 30, 37, 36. Okay. And she's been having babies during her whole YouTube, her whole pregnancy with all of her kids. She's been on YouTube. And he's trying to tell us that, because she's been doing all the work and he just been, slacking. And to me now, at first, I just thought they was just parents that just had all these kids. You can be surprised what kind of sacrifices some people do to maintain a healthy household. And that family right there, and I can be a little bit, judgmental with that family, but you can tell that they're winging it. They're winging it. Not in a, poor way or a bad way. They're really winging it. And they got all these little bodies that's, you know, and I can only imagine Jazz being super tired of doing the YouTube, taking care of the kids, being a coach mom, being not really just taking the kids to the sports, but being active. And then on top of that, you have a baby every year. That got to be hard. And then I'm sitting here thinking, some people, it's not like they don't believe in birth control, but I definitely felt like, to me, I felt like he abused Jazz. Not in like a beating way. I feel like he abused her by allowing her to take the burden. And not just the burden for the YouTube channel, the burden for the whole household. Um, and he probably still does in a weird way. And what I'm saying this is they got married after 6 months of dating. There's their love story. And I'm not in that, so much, right? But listen to Tracy's story and knowing Jazz and Fritz's story from what they give us. That story is not far from each other. Now, did he lie about certain things? Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. But the way that he allowed Jazz to take the burden can happen to a lot of us. Not just a woman that's looking for love online, or, somebody who just wasn't looking, or that can happen. You can lose yourself. So, Jazz, I'm very proud of you. If you out and you're finding who you are. And who knows? She might decide to say, "Hey, I'm gonna do some food videos with you because I think that's only right." But she probably needed to not to have so many babies. Because men could pump you with so many babies, and you'd be like, "I'm tired of being pregnant." And I think she probably told him that, like, "I'm tired of being pregnant. Every time you turn around, I'm pregnant." And that takes consideration. Not only, like, she had, to worry about 4 mouths. Now this woman got a baby girl. She had a baby, a girl, and a boy. She had 7 kids. And I don't even think they've been online for their kids not even out of the 2 digits. They're not even in 2 digits yet. That can be hard on a woman. Very extremely hard. And the sad part about it is there was a time in Fritz's relationship that he didn't never take considerate. He never considered her enough to, like, try to take loads off of her. When women say we got it, don't always mean that we got it. We got it to motivate ourselves. Well, typically some of them we don't have it. A lot of times, and this is just me, seems like he has a lot of trauma in his life. And maybe the same for Jazz. So when you get into this dating and this romantic and this marriage, you think all you have to give is sex. No. Jazz, I think she was 20. She met him. I think she was 20. I don't know, y'all. I think she was 20. But when she met Fritz, she was young. He already had a marriage. He had some health problems and all this great stuff, right? And she came in with broken promises. You can tell. So her story was not far from Reese's, if you ask me. Does she deserve to feel sorry for her? To some people, no. She the one that kept having babies. She kept having to do the YouTube thing by herself. She kept doing the setup, and she had to hold him down and make sure the kids were straight. And before you looked at it, 5 years later, you have 7 kids, and you have not me. You don't have nothing to show I was here besides 7 kids. So he came on here today and he apologized. As he know that this is just me. I'm cutting up, y'all. He know that he was a legend in jazz life. He knew it. That sorry showed me a lot. Like I know I was wrong in so many ways. But y'all, like I said, Reese's story can happen to anybody. Just like that lady from Dirty Jobs. Reese's story does remind me so much of that episode. And true story, the lady was a realtor. She was somebody out in California. And when she started doing the dating, she went online and she got attracted to she matched with the doctor. And she said, "Hey, if this don't work, I can go home." She had very so he showed up in his scrubs. Terrible sign. Terrible sign to annoy. When he showed up, she thought it was kind of strange, but he told her this backstory. Hey, I just came from surgery and I forgot my bag at the house and I didn't want to be late. Typical story, right? Easy peasy. Well, that was enough proof that she showed that tells her that he's a doctor. Now, well, who gonna walk around in scrubs all day, right? Well, I'm gonna give him a lead break. So next time they went on a date, he showed up to the dating place wearing his scrubs. I'm so sorry, I'm running late. You know, because he really didn't have like a tuxedo. It was supposed to be like a black and white event or something like that. But he didn't show up with the tuxedo. He showed up with his scrubs. He couldn't even tell her, hey, I don't have that type of clothes. I probably have to pass. He didn't even tell her that. He just came up there just making it look odd. And we're not saying these two stories. The mother said it herself. She thought it was strange. He wore scrubs everywhere he went. She thought it was strange. And my thing is, even me, I'm human. Red signs are easy for us to see that's mind tricks that we're playing on ourselves. But technically, that is legit. Sometimes it's better just to sit certain things out. It is. Listening to Tracy's story, I would tell anybody if you don't feel good, it's better to sit it out instead of having stories like Reese's or the lady that her daughter killed the guy or just anybody. And then I realized people are addicted to trauma. They're addicted to being a victim. Just look at anything that goes on in society. If it retains to something, that's us. If you really don't care about it, that's them, right? And it's true. A girl would know a man is abusive, but still be with him, right? It's crazy. Man, put his hands anywhere around my face area, he's gone. There won't be no second Oh, it was a one time. It's a never time. A man raised his voice at me. No, you're not going to raise your voice at me. And I am that stern to not to have a yelling match or a man to feel like he needs to yell to get his point across. You can just easily talk to me. Um, it's easy, right? It's easier than said and done. And I understand, like Reese said, it was her time. She thought it was her time to get the husband, to have the house, to have the marriage. And then I have to say, hmm, hmm, really? Was it really your time? Because it sounds good. And then y'all, I gotta debunk certain things. So it's time to debunk it. This is why it's a recap. It's not a recap for kicks and giggles. So Reese, y'all, this is a recap. Reese, you had good comebacks, beautiful comebacks, and it seemed like you was a little bit more aggravated um, with the questions. I did see that a lot of people didn't want to. Um, they didn't want to point that out, but I've seen a lot of aggravations when people will ask you questions and you felt like you felt like it was you said what you needed to say. But people wasn't asking you the right questions. And now this is my time to ask you the right questions because it's my personal recap. All right, there's two things that I wanted to ask. Was he really paying the bills on time? And I'm gonna tell you the reason why I'm asking this. All right. Was he really paying the bills on time? And was it or was y'all struggling? Because the way that you broke down with him, you had to rely on him to pay the car note, made me not just say, man, that man been lying to you, right? No, we already so before you purchased that vehicle, you already knew he lied. He lied to you before you purchased that vehicle and told you that he got into that BMW with not just the tan color, but the cognac color seats, right? That was that major lie, the two major lies saying, hey, we're closing on the house. And then you found out the house was sold under y'all, right? That was one lie. Then the second lie is when the car supposed to pull up in front of you and pull up around this time and the car's gonna drop off. You called him and he said, hey babe, what happened to the car? It's not here. And he's like, oh my gosh, it's still in depot. Da 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 da. Okay, that was two major lies that he told you. Because one, you would not be looking for that other vehicle to have him, you would got that BMW with the cognac color if he never really lied and it wasn't worth your time. Y'all, I'm just speaking the truth, okay? But the way that you broke down was like, man, I knew it was a bad time to like depend on him for paying my car note. But you also said that you was working. Now, you stated this man paid the bills, he paid the utility. You just had to pay your car note and your insurance and basically your free time, maybe a couple dollars on groceries. But if you had that car note, why would you already got budget for a car note, right? Doesn't matter if it's $200, but that is money that you didn't have in your account to pay for rent. So why would you depend on him to pay your car note? I'm asking this because there's sometimes people will tell you just enough information so they don't look like buffoons, because they know they're about to look like a buffoon. And I can look like a buffoon for so much, but I can't look like a buffoon. Y'all really did was struggling over there. And to me, no offense, who knew y'all probably could afford a house? But I doubt very seriously y'all could afford, and you knew he could not afford. After the house went through and you did not receive that BMW cognac colors, the seating cognac, you know y'all could never afford a $600 to $700 mortgage, $600,000 or $700,000 mortgage. You knew you couldn't. So to me, I personally felt like you was more lying in that relationship than he was. Both of y'all yin and yang off of each other until what really broke the camel's back is when he can't deliver what you personally mentally started believing in your own head. Is it his fault he lied? Yes. But is it your fault to stay doing the two major lies he lied in your face about? Now, why are we feeling sorry for you to marry this man? I'm trying to understand this and be as nice as possible. Why is the world is now feeling sorry for you? After you discovered, you unveiled that he lied to you not once but twice about two major purchases before you jumped the broom. Why are we feeling sorry? And how much money did you lose in this marriage? Because it seems to me that you lost money. Because the way that you said you got angry, and when he said, I never lied to her, was like, you lost something you can't get back. See, you enjoyed the lies. And for some odd reason, I feel like you knew he was most likely talking to himself a very long time ago. But I don't want to make it seem like I didn't know. I knew you knew. Another thing I wanted to ask about that I haven't heard nobody ask, when he talked about his grandmother passing away, the matriarch of the family. Grandma's is always going to be the matriarch, no matter if the grandmama's a crackhead. It doesn't matter if the grandmother was the most hideous mom ever. She was a grandmother. She was the matriarch. Okay, just say it what it is. Okay, even the grandmother. Y'all remember a couple years ago, the kids went into the obituary and talked about how terrible the mother was. It was like a big talk of how terrible this mother was and how she's cheated on her husbands and all this stuff. She still went out as a matriarch. Sorry. Sorry. And you didn't think it was strange that y'all did not get together and have a funeral. And how you call it a black family. And you said you can't do that for a black family. Nobody got ready. Nobody didn't come and visit. You didn't go visit nobody after the matriarch passed away. Was it an aunt? Was it the grandma? You didn't think that was strange? See, I personally believe that you knew a lot than what you're discovering. Well, you're disclosing. Um, or you're revealing. I'm just stuck on, why was you so why did you need him to help you with your car payment when you stated in the early statement that your car payment was your car payment? Hmm. Also, we talked about it earlier, as you said that y'all was not being intimate during your marriage. And I guess it kind of stopped when you found out about the chick that he was texting. He said he was bored and all this stuff. You always, to me, do not believe this man. Y'all, I'm being as honest as possible. Every woman's gonna snoop, right? We all gonna snoop. There's a woman right now saying she don't. I don't snoop. I don't snoop. I don't care what my husband, but they snoop. All right. They Facebook is the most terrible thing to try to pitch two to two together. And that is a terrible thing. Okay. We're pitching this person together. Oh, why are you liking his page so much? We're human, right? And the way that she described her going through the feeds told me a lot. I'm human. You wanted you wanted to get rid of him a long time ago. You did. You wanted to get rid of him a long time ago. But you were still hoping that something was gonna come through. It's gonna be worth your while. I never in my life seen a woman that wants anything a man has. But she was proud to let us know that he still had his Jordans at the house. He still had ABC. And I'm like, huh? Okay. See, her story didn't, if I'm saying this right, her story is very believable. But it's not, she's probably not telling y'all the whole facts. I feel like she had to pay half. She had to, they had to struggle. They had to struggle together. I feel like she know he probably didn't have nowhere to go for her to even contemplate the fact that he had a studio apartment. Because y'all ladies, we can't tell people, oh gosh, he was living out his car when I met him. We can't tell people that, because I'm like, girl, you desperate now. It didn't suit her story time. And that's what it was. I'm still trying to figure that out. Like, if he was somewhat a top manager at the corporation, he moved back from California. Y'all, let's write this down like we're in second grade, okay? Critical thinking, comprehension thinking, reading. Um, he would he was somewhat um he was somewhat, what he said, that that move of him being apart from his house, he wanted to live with you because it was convenient. But I don't think he had a place of his own. I don't think he had a studio apartment. Um, because the story didn't tell so much details. Like, where did he put his stuff at? Like, his bed. Did it move it to your house, or Did he get a storage? Because I didn't hear storage. I didn't hear him selling anything. I didn't hear that. I did not hear her say, well, he put all his stuff in marketplaces. It's like, poosh, be gone. Now, if y'all remember, y'all follow me behind my Jazzy life. Jazzy once said that Chris had some stuff in storage. And then later on, he didn't have anything. They didn't have much. They still had the same stuff she had to bring back to the house. So to me, I felt like she had to clean that story up just a tad bit, a little bit, so it don't make her look so bad. And that's when I'm gonna have to say this. Now, which one is a liar now? Because you can't tell me that she thought this man was a higher position. And one, I'm sorry, common sense. Common sense. Common sense. And a lot of times people don't know this because they haven't been nowhere. Where big purchases, sorry to tell you this, when big purchases typically doesn't matter if you're the top um, manager, you have a big purchase, the people who pays for it, who signs for it, is typically the ones that can repo it away. So if the board member or the CEO wasn't there to sign that card, most likely wasn't real because he can't put his name on that vehicle because that vehicle belongs to the company. Y'all see what I'm saying? That story seems like she had to clean it up too much for me. And I'm sorry to say, nobody don't allow anybody to walk around with a $90,000 blank check to purchase a vehicle. Nobody. And most companies don't even buy BMWs, not even for the freaking CEO or the president. What they do is buy you a nice little sedan car. Now, if she said they were shopping for a Honda or Toyota, I would believe it. But when she said a Range Rover and a BMW, a Jaguar, or Audi, I don't believe it. Because typically, those cars will be custom made to have the company logo on it, not just a random black BMW. They'll have the company. Just like, the Pepsi BMW. I don't know if y'all seen the Pepsi BMW service truck, right? BMW, I think BMW sponsor Pepsi or Pepsi sponsor BMW. But they also, I know for sure, they also have a BMW manager. And then they have like a little small Pepsi one for like a tech or something like that. But the service trucks, they have BMWs. And then you have that little box car. I'm thinking it might be a little hoopty or something or Pinto, but that's how small it looks. But it's typically a Pepsi one. Hold on, y'all. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, and nobody's not coming back and saying, no, jobs don't do that. Anybody that works in certain fields, that most likely been somebody that's watching her channel that work for probably have of a high level of um, position, a foreman or a manager. Um, and they'll tell you, no, you get a company's car, it's probably going to be a very bland company's car. You're not going to get like a BMW. Okay. Unless the company is sponsored by somebody. Y'all get what I'm saying? Like, yeah. She said condiments, so I'm assuming that if it's just saying, I'm assuming that it's mustard, Heinz. I'm assuming that if it was a Heinz company or maybe a Pepsi Cola or something like that, that you were on top level and you have to go to these different sites, or you're seeing, making sure that you might do what is it called, super shopper or secret shopper or something like that. Yeah. So that was like one lie that I felt like she should have definitely disclosed and walked out. Also, I always hearing women say, do your research, do your research, do your research. I will say this. This man said he won the champion. I'm about to go there. He went to ABC school. I remember a guy told me he got a bachelor's. And I was like, here this go. So I go to his house and I see no degree on the wall. Why do you have to lie to me, to do? I'm going to like you regardless. But I'm going to tell you this, and I'm understanding this so much about dating. Once you start feeling like a man is lying to you, he already thinks that you don't like him. When a man lies to you, he knows where he can stand. He knows where your fantasy and your reality is. He can tell you the truth. He knows that you can handle it, but he just wants you to like him that much. And to me, if he had to lie to you about ABC, you didn't like him. Y'all gotta understand where that come from. He knew deep down inside you didn't like him. You like the company. You like the easiness that he allow you to be. Because sometimes, women like a man that allows them to be comfortable. That is, I don't have to comb my hair. I don't have to put on clothes. I don't have to lose weight. I don't have to do ABC. I could just be myself. You like that fact. You didn't have to work hard. But when he started taking from you, he started taking from you a long time ago. It wasn't just the houses. You got to make sure you don't allow people to know I paid for this man's lifestyle. Because do I believe women played for this man's lifestyle before you? Yeah. That woman with the son, she looked like she gave him all her EBT cards. That woman that talks about buying him some felines, and now suddenly you, 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 you have access to him paying all the bills. Ladies, I would never tell anybody that my husband lied to me as a CEO or a vice president or executive president, whatever it was, just to turn around to be a temp worker. Y'all understand the price range that'll be in that house? There ain't no way that man got barely, probably I'll say on a good week, he probably got about maybe 1,600, maybe, maybe. I don't think he was ever in love with him. Y'all, I can say it. I don't think she was ever in love with him. But I can't feel sorry for her for him lying to you twice. And you can tell us all day long. I read the paper. I can read papers too. I know some words. Don't mean that I comprehend it. The way that it's getting, by the time I start watching it, I would think that one, two, the house being sold and the car never being delivered would been her walking shoes, right? What's worse could happen? Oh, making up the secretary that can just be out the wind, right? Not being there for you mentally, not even physically, for the DC, the DNC. I'm gonna tell you this. Don't allow people to tell y'all that when COVID happened, you could not have visitors. That was, and I was in the end, no, I was at the middle of COVID when I had my son. And they was a little bit stricter. But I remember taking a COVID test, going to the hospital. I think I could had one person with me when I did my ultrasounds. That was very iffy. Some places didn't do that. Um, and that was just the opening up of COVID, because I think she said she got pregnant in 2020, and I was pregnant in 2022, so we had about the same, probably about the same policies of being pregnant, procedures, and all that stuff. We had the same, right? The same understanding. I didn't have a DC, but we had the same, guidelines. And the way that she tried to protect him not being there, just made me look at her strange. What do you mean? We're losing a kid together. And I want to hear from Dan. Then you should know that personally, I feel like she knew he didn't have that VIP position. Um, he had no other options to be at work. She knew instantly he didn't have a executive position. But again, she can't tell you that he had to be at work because he was a temp worker. She can't tell you that he was a temp worker, y'all. And personally, I feel like she is not being honest with her personal truth in her equation. It's easy for, and I'm not saying he didn't tell her this, but it's easy for you to figure shit out for yourself than to actually say it. She knew he didn't have that position, but she had to do that whole thing by herself. Because anybody knows if you're a temp worker, um, they're not as family oriented. They just need you to fill in that spot that they did a contract to um, make whole. And trust me, you got to be on work on time, y'all, and you leave on time. You don't do overtime. So when she said he come home, yeah, he had to come home. So personally, I don't believe nothing he got to say, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I feel like, and I'm going to say this, I'm starting not to believe the whys that came after what works. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't believe them. Um, I believe them to a extent, but I don't believe. I believe he got worse over time that he could master his lives. Um, and again, I think she probably, not saying that her trauma was out better than the other ones, but her trauma was a little more surreal to when she told us versus the other ladies. Um, it seems surreal. That's just me. I could be so wrong about that situation. I do see that Reese um, is on YouTube now. Y'all go check her channel out. Um, Go check her channel out. It looks legit. I hope it is, but go check her channel out. Um, but I personally believe there's more people lying in this equation than just him. That's just me. So, what else happened this week? Those tax money hit, y'all. I think it's getting funny to me now as I'm looking at the whole looking at certain people moving, not literally moving, but they're doing like weird things, buying Starbucks, buying Apple computers. All I can say is I hope that money is available when you really need it. I hope you can make money off of that Apple computer. Um, and I just want to say this about Diamond, Wine Glass and Chill. Diamond, if you're going to give people advice, Great advice on taxes. Tell them to claim all their children on a W-4s. That's the best advice you can tell people. Having a big lump sum where you can have, just say, let's break this down. Let's break it down for a third grader. So you have to say $8,000 on the 22nd of March. Okay, 22nd of March, you got $8,000. All right. For this is 12-year frame, 12-month frame that we're going to break that down because I need to break it down to tell y'all exactly why I say you're telling people the wrong thing. So you get $8,000. I'm just roughing this off, right? Divide that by 12. So that'll be $600 and six. Oh, let's say $667 because that's the demons word right there. 666. You will have $667 a month if you claim all your kids. That's $600, and just say if you don't even get that, you get 500. That can help you with your rent. But guess what? You don't have to worry about late fees. That $600 extra might can help you with putting that month, that right there you can put towards doubling up your light bill. You can double up on your car insurance. You could do so much with that $600 that you let the government hold for free. Now you want to tell people to double up on their money? Tell people the right information. Tell them the right information. You're going to come out here and you want to be a spokesperson for handling money. Tell them the right thing. Claim everybody on your taxes, on your W-4s, so you don't get a big lump sum and you're not struggling from April to January. You literally got to go to the library to print out food just to have a memory of how it smells. January the 15th. Stand on the real truth. If you really want to be a spokesperson for anything, tell them the truth. You don't want this, you don't want to wait till January. And I'm not saying that you won't get anything back from the end of the hey Ebony, how you doing, darling? But that's what's wrong with a lot of people. They don't know the correct information and they're just talking outside their neck. Tell the people the real truth. How to get your money and be functional. It's funny, right? When you're doing taxes for people, right? Some people get a refund, some people don't. That's just how it goes, okay? And when they get a refund, one person said, man, I didn't even get that much this year. When you get a refund, it should never be a large amount. It should never be a large amount. You have a large amount refund, you're losing. I said it. You're not winning in February the 2nd. Well, whenever you get that refund check hits, you're not winning. You struggle all year just to play catch up. Why would I want to play catch up? Oh, let me go out and buy everything I wanted to eat these last 2 weeks when I didn't have EBT or when I don't have my EBT. Or I will always tell people this: you have start planning out the summer, not trips, because a lot of times people always think you're going on trips for you're going on trips. Like that's crazy. Um, I don't believe in tax money for trips. I just don't. Um, I believe that is the time that I catch up on when I get my taxes. That's the time I catch up on not just stock stuff. That's my time to catch up on detergents and bleach, household stuff. Um, Buy me whatever new appliance I need, such as, oh, a I really want another George Foreman grill. I want another sandwich maker. I want that. Think about what you really need and what you really want. I need some new furniture. Stuff like that. That makes sense. Make you want to, okay, do better. But this should not be a come up. This is not rich. Like you're not rich. But it is what it is. Diamond, tell people the right information. Just want to let you know that. So people don't be struggling all year round. Um, but that's it, y'all. I think I'm done. Um, I would talk about Sky World, but I said what I said yesterday, right? You shouldn't make fun of people too much. Oh, yesterday, y'all was in my live last night, right? So I think I got off about 10. I got in the house at 10 because I looked over and it was 10 o'clock. So my son is getting ready for his little bed, um and the his therapist is helping me to be a better communicator towards him. And when I tell you, I was so tickled with him last night. It was even funny. Like he drove me crazy before I got live, not doing my live. But when I got live, he started driving me crazy, like turning on my car and stuff like that. Like I cannot drive with you. We're not in an open field. You like an open parking lot, and I don't want nothing to happen, right? So I think today I'm going to do it. Don't be like, oh, that's against the law. No, he's my baby. And we just drive about maybe like 2 miles per hour. And I just let him drive through the parking lot and he's sitting in my lap. I know that's totally wrong, but that's between me and him. And I do a lot of prayer with God because please don't let me get caught by no cop. I'm gonna have to throw my baby in the seat if the cop, like, comes in there. So we try to, make it cautious, let him, get his little wee out of the way. And so we got in the house and he got this steering wheel. And we bought it from, I didn't see it in like forever. So he's sitting on the seat, right? Sitting in the seat with a steering wheel. And he did this for about 30 minutes. And I just said, you know what? You can go to bed whenever you're ready. Okay. I'm not fighting with you. But he played. And then I give it about like 5 or 6 minutes. He knocked on my door. I open it up like, hey, you want to come in? And then he was like, then he does his dramatic, ooh. He can say no really well. Okay. So, and he ran straight to his sister's room. And I was like, okay, cool. So he was out, but he just wondering why I didn't play with him. I'm like, well, I'm tired. Okay. I am tired. But he had a good time. And like I said, I'll probably do it tonight so he can get a beep out the way. And things you do for your children, I guess. And there's probably gonna be somebody like, that's against the law. I know it's against the law. It is. It is. But I'm not. Y'all, let me ask y'all a question. How do y'all feel about that mother that allowed her daughter to do waxes at her salon? Now, before we even go, how disgusting that is, and da 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 da. I remember going to a nail shop, right? And the little kids be doing your nails. They know how to use the drill. They know how to take the polish off your feet. They know how to. And I was like, what's the difference between those kids doing that versus the kid doing the waxing? I know, but I'm just saying, like, what's the difference? What's the difference, y'all? I don't. I guess it depends on if the kid gets caught. I'm just being as honest as possible. Or what's the difference between the kids at the barbershop cleaning the floors? What's the difference? What's the difference? So, because I take my son to the barbershop and they do hire little kids to sweep up the floor, take out the trash and stuff like that. But what's the difference? She did get arrested. See, I thought the waxing was just like underarms or legs. I didn't know it was areas that, it shouldn't be vision to a child. That's just me. Yeah. And she did. And sometimes, be honest with you, people don't think. Um, they don't think. People don't really think when they do stuff nowadays. Oh, I thought you mean the mother. I don't know about that woman that did it, but like I said, I didn't know it was. When I read the title, I didn't read the story, but I did read that it later on it was she did about two or three of them, the private area, and I'm like, ouch, that's just too much for a kid. To me, that is like too much for a kid. But to each his own. To each his own. To each his own, I guess. Because y'all know there's some things that we might see kids working in those fields. Okay, we see kids in those fields with their parents. Anything that does with custom services, like your mom, some kids, their parents run a nail store, a salon. You see these kids doing certain things like braiding. How many of us seen videos of kids at a mom's salon? They're doing the bottom braid, right? And people don't think, they don't think outside the box, and they don't think, okay, we're gonna get in trouble for this. You know, you can't do that, girl. You can whack somebody's under their chin, or I can see that, but that was just too much for a kid. Y'all, that is too much for a kid. And I hope that she learns why she got in trouble. Um, and I'm not saying she was a bad, that can be very bad, but shit, we see worse parents on this sector. Y'all, we gotta call a spade a spade. We see worse parents that put their children in worse harms than anything. A woman will move a guy in, and he be a whole pedophile. I'm sorry. We got My Jazzy Life dropping her kids. So what? That's the father. But dropping her whole kids off every weekend or every chance she gets with a man that lives with his one of his victims when she was 15. I'm not lying. I wish I was lying. Hannah bragged about it that they was together when she was in high school and he was 21. And they sat up, listened to Beyonce's album when she was 15 years old. And now he's living with her. Not realizing the psychological shit this girl is probably have not lived off of. Some shit that she thinks is cool and okay. I'm not reaching, I'm just telling you the truth. Then you think, like, for example, men, they get molested just as much as women do, right? They get groomed just as much as women do. And I would not date a man that I felt like I wouldn't date. I don't know if I dated a man or I have dated a man that was molested. But if I was willing and knowing that the man was molested, I wouldn't have him around my kids because I really believe that he don't know the difference. Yeah, some of them do know that's wrong, but some of them don't. That's the reason why we have so many pedophiles. And if you go back to some pedophiles, they say because they was touched and molested as a child. If I'm lying, that's in history. It's hard for them to break that psychological thinking. They don't know the wrong and the right point of view. That's the reason why, like, we watch Nika, and we're hard on Nika. People are very hard on Nika, and I'm not saying don't be hard on her, but the way that Nika is not protecting her kids from whatever shenanigans that could have happened or did happen in her household with her son tells me a lot. She don't know right from wrong. It happened to her, so, and nobody didn't get in trouble with her, so why do it have to get in trouble with somebody? Why do you have to get in trouble? She don't understand that consequences are mentally and physically because she's still stuck in that childhood. That's the reason why Nika eats the way she eats. Like her mouth was hurting, right? And she was eating a piece of cake. Adults, we know that our sweet tooth and eating healthy for our mouth is more important than what we want. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not giving Nika any leeway. All right, trust and believe me. But I'm just looking at it like, damn, they give a damn camera to anybody nowadays, right? Now y'all would just sit back and say, damn, they give a camera to anybody. Damn, that's amazing. They really do. And we're here for it. And there's people that would laugh at this situation or encourage her to keep on giving us the same content. Y'all, you think I'm being honest with y'all. Thanks to having a pastor, a mother, because I have more fear of my pastor than my mother at times. And y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all a funny story. Okay. Reason why I say I have more fear for my pastor is because I almost was going to put my car in reverse. So I didn't see her neck to neck because I was missing so many Sundays. Okay. When I saw her car is a blueberry BMW. Okay. Now y'all can say, "Oh, see, that's where the church money is." Girl, bye. We don't. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. So she, at the time she had her own job and he had a job, and so they worked. They worked to get what their tangible things, the material tangible things they want. So um if something dramatic happened to my family like that, my pastor would snatch me up. You understand me? She would snatch the hell out of me up. And not only drag me to the church house, but I'll probably be permanently on that altar, because there's no way that I would have been sane, be walking around here thinking I can leave this my son that was accused of doing the impossible to his sisters in the house. See, I don't know if y'all remember the Duggars. See, the Duggars, what made it look bad was the mother and father knew that the son had some type of issues with the girls. You know, if I'm remembering the story right, the parents used to catch the son, going in the girl's room. Um, like, boy, what you doing in here? Get out of here. They caught him in the girl's room. Get off of me. And then suddenly the parents will, he's just a teenage boy. Then they eventually let him start babysitting and watching over the kids. And this is when they had the show, y'all. This is not like before the show. This happened where they had the cameras hooked in the freaking houses. Y'all don't understand. And while they was in the bedroom making Douglas number 97, he was in there sparring with his sisters under their parents' noses. The kids did say, some of the girls did speak out on it before they went public. And the parents basically said, he didn't, I don't think y'all, it's real talk. And I think that's the reason why he didn't get in trouble. He didn't get in trouble. He didn't penetrate. He didn't do the extra step. But he was very creepy and very, and I think one sister actually said he actually did it. But the other ones are basically saying he was very creepy. They basically talked about how they used to sleep together as in one, just to protect each other, because they felt like they wasn't getting protected by their parents. And what did TMC do? TLC? They knocked them off the charts. Just like YouTube should have knocked off Nika. When Nika said, she just had a little bit of semen in her, they should have knocked her out. But no, she's still here, running rapid. All right? Be honest with you. When Philip came out and it was exposed of him, you know, preying on younger children, they should have knocked out Jazz. Well, Jazz didn't do anything. That doesn't matter. The price that you have to pay. When he got caught doing it again, why is she still on live? Well, I'm not even with him. It doesn't matter. You should want to get off of there to protect your children, but they don't. It gets worse and worse and worse. So what I'm saying is, that woman that allow her daughter to do all that, we just live in a culture that don't look wrong in her eyes. Because how many videos we saw when parents posted a video of kids doing outrageous stuff? How many videos can you just imagine that's out there where a parent is letting their kids do the water challenge and they'll be under the age of 5? There's no discrepancy of how a children's supposed to act or what children are supposed to do. There, nobody don't have that anymore. That's the reason why it's so funny to hear that song, "Bend That Ass Over." Y'all seen the little kids singing that song with their little microphone? Yeah, it's so funny. It's so cute. And all the parents is like basically making a little short talking about how they dropping the kids off at the daycare. I'm like, are you kidding me? Y'all see how they use other people's kids to get content, right? And then just like that mother use her own daughter to, to build her clientele or just to keep it going. Like, okay, I'm booked here. Girl, go over in that room and wax her. I don't care. I told her not to take a bath. Mind your business. How many parents was like that? And it probably starts with the worst dangerous thing, social media. I remember social media first came out, and of course, Facebook, MySpace. I didn't have my daughter on MySpace, but Facebook, I remember putting Lee, putting putting Liz on there. I think she was about 2. I started posting her pictures when she was about 2. And when people was like, "Oh my gosh, when did you have a baby?" I'm like, "Girl, she's 3 years old now. What are you talking about?" And then I realized my other son took me a year to post him. My second son, it took him a year. I did instantly. I think I put my other baby on there probably about 3 weeks. I see how fast children was a focus on social media, not intentionally, but it just happened. Like, yeah, let me go ahead and push these kids out there on social media. There's so much closed source. Ebony, yes. That's the reason why I feel like, and y'all know, I'm not perfect. And I tell y'all this in a heartbeat. I had children out of wedlock. I fornicated in the process of making my children. And I would never deceive that to anybody. All right. But, and I tell you, that is the most truthful statement you said. Dysfunctional behind closed doors. Y'all don't understand. I talk to my children, and I know my kids be like, ew. I let them know what is real. When Nika stuff started coming out, I had a conversation with my kids. Not to be so um so weird. I just didn't want them to think that shit was normal. Y'all understand that shit is not normal. And I also talked to them about allowing cousins and you're going over people's houses. And I'm being honest. And when my son had his first sleepover, I asked him, I said, "What did you do?" Because y'all got to ask these questions, You can't be there. You gotta just hope and pray that they make great decisions. And you said we play video games, and I said, did y'all do anything extra? And my son was like, you mean being fruity? Yeah. No, that's gay, bro. That's gay. We just play video games. And when I tell you, you don't know what other people are doing, but you're also afraid of being so paranoid that your kids won't have a life. And I allowed him to understand, like I have to ask certain questions for my kids because they need to understand that certain things aren't right. That ain't right. You don't naturally do that. Y'all get what I'm saying? So, as parents, I'm winging it. I'll be the first to tell you I'm a bad parent, but I'm winging it every day. I'm learning every day. And I don't know if a lot of y'all understand, but some things will never be broken in some people's homes because they enjoyed it. I personally believe that Nika is wounded. And the way I did see Nika video when she was with her daughter, and it really saddens me. It really does. And I'm going to tell you the reason why it saddens me. Because Nika never experienced that. She never experienced being free. Like when I hear women say they're 30 and they can't find a good man, I'm like, girl, you didn't find it. You just be thankful you didn't find it, a bad one. Now, I must say, I found some great ones. Are they worth fighting for? Probably not. And they're not here. And are they worth, risking it all? No. But I understand I could semi get a little jealous of the 30-year-old woman that don't have any kids. And she complains about, you know, not having time to have a love life. And I'd be like, what? You crying about that? You can sleep in. You can put something somewhere and it still be there. And she might envy me. That's crazy. Look at her. She got the kids, they're together, they're they're neat, they're nice, and I think we're humans that just envy each other for no odd reason. But Nika, I really felt like Nika was envying her daughter. She wants somebody to have a conversation with her. Nika, I'm gonna say this, and like I give Jasmine advice, I'm gonna give Nika advice. Nika, have have time away from your older daughter as well. You have time away from your children that I feel like you don't need to have time away from. But you might need to find you a job, a little plant job. They're always hiring at little plants. You stay in Sumter, so I think they got like maybe about an hour away. Not even an hour away. You probably about like maybe less than 30 minutes away from a can plant that's in like it's like touching the end of Florence, but there's like a little can plant, like canned foods, right? You can work there. You get enough experience to hang out with a few peers, you know? And South Carolina is not dirt poor, y'all. It's not. My parents stays in South Carolina. And it's how you make it. You know what I'm saying? But Nika don't really need, you don't need no food job. You don't need no Walmart job. You might need to broaden your horizons of your job. I'm just saying. I think I said it in somebody's Dr. A live. Nika, go to the community college, see what kind of free job courses you can get. Trust me, I did it. Okay. The one lady said, hey, they're doing an income maintenance for DSC, and the class is free. And if you pass this class, you can get a free. I think I had to pay like $82 for the second part, and I passed it. And voila. And then you had the Medicaid part. I passed that too. So I don't have a degree in social work, but I can do income maintenance 1 and 2, and I can do Medicaid. That is the input for, so when people apply, I can do that. That's a part of the job I got under my belt. Um, and that wasn't like a grand big job, y'all. I had to get out of, I had kids. I couldn't look at customer service. I couldn't look at being a manager for a customer service job. I couldn't. No matter how people could say you make more money than the office manager, that's true. They do. Very true. Definitely, they know how to keep up with the, the store. They know how to micro. Yes, they know how to make sure to manage the hours right. Yes, they can make buku money. You're right. Bonuses is out the world. Okay, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just applying yourself. Then when you start applying yourself, you might not can touch Papa or your oldest daughter, but you definitely will touch Leah, HJ, Eli, Elijah, whatever the little baby's name is. You will be able to give them a work ethic or a drive to do better. So instead of showing us improvement, you show us outstanding, consistent awards. Um, but you can't play house. And Nika, you've been playing house way too long. You can't play house. Um, House does not involve you going playing bingo and your kids are fending for themselves, buying them pizza, cutting the pizzas in triple slices, cutting pizzas in one slice triple times is not doing the job. It won't do the job. So my best bet for you, Jazz, Nika, is probably go to social services. Oh no, a community college. I know some they're most likely have a community college, and see what kind of continued education they have. You can be a plumber. You can see if they got free classes for a plumber. Um, See if they got free classes for welding. Y'all, these might sound masculine jobs, but be honest with you, she most likely probably can be a top hirer because of her motivation to get something better. Y'all don't, my hairdresser, and I told her I'll be proud of her for the rest of my days, okay? She went to go to electrician in school because they had it at community college, just so she'll know how to talk to the electricians that comes to do her wiring. All right. So when she took that class, her husband laughed at her. He was like, ha 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 ha. You're gonna hurt yourself. You're gonna hurt yourself. You just so crazy woman, right? And now my hairdresser is in her 60s, okay? 65 at the time. And so when she did it, right? Everybody laughed at her besides her classmates. And she was the top three at the end of her fourth class. So they had four levels in that electrician class. She was the top three. Now you had to have B average to pass to be certified, but she had an A average. So what I'm trying to say is, Nika, you can apply yourself. You come on this YouTube. This YouTube is harder than what a lot of people think. You come on here, you post videos. I think you have it in you to go to a different job, to try to like welding, plumbing, electrician. You can do income maintenance. You can see if you, whatever is required for certain jobs in your city. For example, you have to take, well, here they used to have to take an ACT test, a ACT ACT test, to see like a certain level to be hireable. So if you had the bronze, I think the silver was the lowest. I think no, bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. One of those, it was four levels, and I think I got gold. If I'm not mistaken, I got gold. So I was on like the third level. So I was more likely to be hired versus a silver. No, bronze. I'm sorry, a bronze. So you can definitely do it, Nico. You just gotta apply yourself. And y'all, that's all. Nika, I really hope that Nika does find something that's other than YouTube. But is it me? But YouTube, they're not paying you that much. I'm starting to see that. YouTube might not be paying people that much. But yeah, I didn't realize I was on here for almost 2 hours. And I know, girl. And it's raining outside. So it's like really dreary. So I think I'm a I think I'm gonna do my daughter's braids this weekend. I'm gonna give her some cornrows, maybe like a bun. Make it cute, make her feel fresh. The boys don't need a haircut. They're not due probably until like next week or the week after. Um, so I don't think I have that much to do. What else I gotta get done? That's it. I think I'm just gonna relax. I think tonight I told my kids I'm gonna take them to Applebee's, but I'm not for sure if I really want to take them to Applebee's. If I just want them to just to see if they want to take something home and just relax and chill at the house. Um, because y'all, I've been watching. Her name is Beauty, and I tell you, she went to Applebee's and baby, she ate those wonton tacos, and I love wonton tacos. It's really good. But I wasn't for sure if yeah, I'm thinking about getting some wonton tacos. Like I gotta get it tonight. But if they don't want Applebee's, we can go somewhere else. And we can. I promise you can go somewhere else. That won't kill us. But I'll talk to y'all beautiful people later. Y'all have a wonderful, safe weekend. And if you have your tax money, do something nice for yourself, your kids. But this is my best bet. This is my best thing before you go out and spend money. And this sounds boring, but it is. It might help you to save you on a little bit of money, a little bit of happiness. Clean up your house first. I said, clean up your house first. Throw away old stuff before you bring in new stuff. Um, Make a mental list of what you need and what you want. Um, Not just saying, for example, some the smallest things can make you whole. For example, if you have, not everybody has a flat top stove, right? We all don't have flat top stove. Some of us still got like those stoves that needs those little drip pans. And your drip pan, that drip pans get dirty and burned on and stuff like that, and it's hard to clean. Go get you a clean, get you a new set, and you just cleaned your whole stove off, your oven. Um, that can make you feel whole. That trust me, I'm telling you, that hits different when you got a new drip pan. Like I'm thinking about buying some tonight because I want to feel whole. But you have dish towels that, or just towels, and your towels don't look that pretty, or try to see if you can get a set. Like even if it's a small set of four and four, that's a start. You don't have to go out and buy, articles or anything like that. Just find you a nice white set of towels or whatever color towels you like, and just get you something that makes sense to you. I would never provide anybody to start doing satisfying um, organizing. I think that's a waste of time. If you're not organized when you had the opportunity to be organized, you're not going to be organized when you go out and buy all this organized stuff. So, yeah, so don't try to go find you something to make you excited or make you feel some type of better about yourself. Um, because that'll be a waste of money. But start by cleaning up your house before you go out and shop. Because I don't know if y'all, I'm an 80s baby. So my mother used to, before we used to go to the mall, right, on Saturday. And my mom used to clean up her house. And when we come back in that house smelled so good. It was so clean. And we just relaxed. And we still had our new stuff. And it was just so relaxing. So I must tell you this. I'm going to tell you this. If you're going through a depression state and you seeing that money in your account, now you want to buy stuff. Do not do that. That's a terrible thing to do. All right? Clean up your house. Get a little pre-organized. Get ready. Find out what you need. Um, if you want a new mop and broom set, that's okay, y'all. I don't understand why people aren't trying to get the smallest things that you might need. Dish towels. You want to stock up on your laundry soap or your dishwashing soap, whatever. But you have to clean it up to make sure you know what you need. If you want to restock and you want to be bulking of food in the house, just look at what you need. Like I said, spring break is coming near. So if you have a deep freezer or you have an extra space, um try to find like little foods that you can have, so you that tax money is not going to last forever, y'all. So find you something that's going to last, such as, you know in was it crustables. If you know you have a house full of kids, Sky, crustables, that you have eaters. Um, like for example, my house will have corn dogs during spring break, or my parents' house will have corn dogs, not my house. Um, Corn dogs, mozzarella sticks, Stouffer's lasagna, um, pancakes, cereal. So I always have that available. And I know summer's coming around the corner. What can you start saving? What can you get rid of? So that's just me, y'all. You can call me a nerd all day long, but that money that you get in your bank account, or in your doorstep, or in your mailbox, if you're not happy, you're not feeling whole, you're feeling anxious, start cleaning up your house, start organizing your home. It doesn't matter if your house is already clean. Start, breaking stuff down. Start learning what you need and what you don't need, because that money's going to come and go. And then your emotions, your feelings, your depression, all that stuff going to come back. Trust me. That money don't last. That money you can't hold on to at night, and it don't make people stay. It don't make people feel better. You just there. So, and also try not to buy your love to randoms. Try not to invite so many people out to dinner. Um, that's real talk, because you don't find yourself lonely again. So learn how to enjoy your money to yourself. If you're in a relationship, get off of POL for about 2 months and see how much money you save. Just saying. See how much money you save. If you get off POF, see how much money you save. See how much time you save. If you got money in y'all pockets, get off the dating sites. Hey, you don't have to listen to me. Get off dating sites. Enjoy life. You might find your person. You might find them. You could never find them because you was always on your phone. You was interacting with something, but this time somebody can see your face. Somebody can probably witness you walking through the store. That is worth your while. So that is just a couple of tips for tax season for me, y'all. Enjoy life. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you next week.